So the highlight of today's hero is going to be The Rock, aka Tiny the Tony.
What?
And it's going to be played in none other than 23Savage. And in this video, we are going to witness how strong Tiny is, whether in the laning stage or whenever he reaches his item timing. And so immediately at level 1, you can see that Tiny actually went for the tree grab, and you can see that his team actually stick up together to go for the aggressive rune control. And immediately in this situation, you can see that it's a bit awkward for him as both of his support dies. He hesitated to walk in until his Tyrande shows himself, which will eventually allow him to have the confidence to go in for the secure kill. And so for the laning stage, it's actually pretty hard for the Tiny as it's going against the Timbersaw and Sniper position 4. And so Timbersaw is known to be a counter to any strength heroes, especially if the enemy is a carry or core hero. And once again, this positioning is actually abused by many people in the high rank games. And that is the moment you cross this flags, is actually an indicator that the enemy can jump on you anytime and you have really no room to run away. And once again, we can see that 23Savage actually went for the Soul Ring, but at this point, the enemy is pretty strong as Timbersaw is actually a counter, and you can see why, as he starts letting out huge damage, together with a slow shrapnel from the Sniper, making it super hard to run away. And so, counter or not, 23Savage actually maxed his toss, and actually deals a lot of magic damage to the Timbersaw himself, as you can see that he doesn't want to give the Timbersaw a free lane. And you can see how strong the enemy is as they actually have the counter attack for it too, which actually makes it a close call until his teams arrive. And so 1 minute later, the Radiant actually brought their own guys up top and they killed the Tiny as well. And this is a type of situation where you can TP into your lane again and get a return kill. And so Tiny's first timing is the moment he gets his Echo Saber, and he made the rotation at the bottom lane as there's still a tier 1 tower, and you can see that the Timbersaw is still laning over there defending it. So it's actually a pretty good showcase in revealing his Echo Saber. And so Tiny's second item timing is the moment he gets his Blink Dagger, and that's why you should smoke with your teammates. But for this smoke, it's a bit awkward because the Tiny actually uses Avalanche to clear the quick wave, and then they found the enemy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not too bad.
And so once you got your first core hero, you kind of want to run them down like a domino effect. As a reason for this is because their main DPS, which is on the carry, is currently dead, and you want to take advantage of that. And so with the bottom side map control, they actually secure Roche. And you can see that Tiny actually went for the SNY build after the Blink Dagger for extra damage and movement speed. SNY is currently a very useful item and very value for a lot of situations, especially against most support heroes in this meta. And of course with the Aegis, you definitely want to hit the high ground. And take note that the Tiny actually has a Harpoon and a Chrysalis for this high ground fight. And it's also your responsibility to hit the tier 3 tower as Tiny hits like a rock. But the enemy actually has a lot of magic damage to harass them, and you can see how his team reacted when the Tiny was low. The Tyrande actually went for the 50-50 Ravish as his main goal was to save the Tiny, and once the enemy carry popped that BKB, it was time to go. But this is where a very interesting scenario happens. So it's obvious that the Dire doesn't have Ravish anymore and the Radiant wants to chase. And just know that there's a limit on how much they can overextend. As you can see that the Dire actually takes this fight beautifully, even though they do not have Pango out.
Monster kill.
Ooh, floating iceberg money.
Dire are scanning for enemies. God.